Hey everyone, this is eSpirit, and this tutorial is covering my Dragon Knight build for lower levels. The reason I'm putting this together is that when you're at a lower level and you're grinding, it can be hard because you don't want to spend a lot of money on armor to keep up certain aspects, because you'll just end up buying that armor again in like another hour. So what I wanted to do is cover a build that will increase your armor and then also maximize your damage output with the Dragon Knight. The first thing I like to do is spiked armor, which increases your armor for about 20 seconds, and then damage that's done to you, it returns about 21 physical damage for melee attacks. So the next one that I want to look at is Molten Armaments, which is great. This one increases your weapon damage and your allies' weapon damage that are around you, so it's great for when you're grouped and you're needing to fight something. This also increases your crit strike, so that way you're going to do more damage and you'll have a better crit chance. The next thing I want to look at is Searing Strike. This will deal flame damage, but then also it does damage over time, which is great because while you're fighting, they're getting burned, so that way you don't have to necessarily cast as much. The next thing I want to look at is Pierce Armor. This is going to take down their armor and spell resistance, so that way during your fight you're going to be doing even more damage. So you've effectively got burn damage and you're bringing down their armor and spell damage. Some people might say that you should cast this first and then do the sword, but I find that it's better to do the sword first just because your burn damage is going to be doing this anyways, and piercing armor can take a while to cast, so the flame is just a lot quicker to initiate battle and you're going to miss getting hit and things like that. So the next spell that I want to talk about is Stone Fist. I usually use this as a precautionary measure due to the fact that you'll be fighting 3 enemies or 4 enemies at a time, and sometimes you don't do enough DPS to kill them fast enough, and what you'll need to end up doing is stunning them and then going to a few of the other ones and killing them and then stunning them and things like that. So that's the point of this, is to give you a little bit more time when your damage output just isn't enough. And as you can see, I have Magma equipped, which limits your cap of damage at 3%. Again, this is just another precautionary measure that I do for when you're in like a really oh crap situation and you need to take 4 or 5 of them. Otherwise, you can usually do about 3 without using your ultimate. I wanted to show you quickly when we go over to a fight how I actually do it. The first thing I'll do is cast Spiked Armor, and then as you can see, the armor is increased far more than I even need. You could use light armor or medium armor and get like magical buffs or something. The next thing I like to cast is Molten Armaments, which gives you that damage output. Usually you'll want to cast it the moment you go into a fight if you haven't already casted it, to get the 6 seconds of crit damage that you can do. So I'm going to just get my armor back up and I'm going to go in and then I'll cast my Searing Strike to get the burn damage, and then a Pierce Armor, and then a heavy attack, Pierce Armor, and then a heavy attack. And as you can see, that takes them down pretty quickly. The next thing I want to move on to showing you is how Stone Fist works. It's pretty simple. You cast it and they get stunned. But I just wanted to show it in the video so that way you can see. As you can see, they fall on the ground. I will do the Searing Strike, Pierce Armor, Heavy Attack, Pierce Armor, Heavy Attack, Searing Strike, Pierce Armor, Heavy Attack, Pierce Armor, Heavy Attack. So that's it. This is a pretty simple combo that you can use to maximize your armor, damage, and DPS output, and making sure that you don't die and level quickly while you're grinding without having to waste money on armor or weapons. I hope you enjoyed.